Good morning, everyone. We just got out of a storm briefing, and as you know, the heaviest rains are expected in a few hours, which is why evacuation orders and warnings in parts of the burn area went into effect at 7 a.m. this morning. We expect these heavy rains to last through Friday morning, which puts burn areas at particular risk for landslides, mud flows, and debris flows, and other dangerous impacts. There are risks all across Los Angeles, from mud flows in our hills to our flooded streets, downed trees, and fallen power lines. We are leading an all-hands-on-deck approach to keep people safe across the city and to stem mudslides and similar impacts that could slow down rebuilding in the Palisades. In certain areas, individuals have been told they need to evacuate, but I will say, because of the work of the Los Angeles Police Department, if you reside in a home where you need to evacuate, the LAPD has knocked on your door and left a door hanger. So individuals have been contacted if they need to evacuate. City crews have installed concrete barriers and sandbags to stop mud flows. The fire department has pre-positioned swift water rescue and urban search and rescue teams, bulldozers, and other resources. DWP crews are activated to respond to power outages, and LAPD officers are checking on critical infrastructure and are ready to facilitate evacuations. We are staying on top of the storm here in the Emergency Operations Center, and with crews deployed citywide, we ask Angelenos to stay vigilant also. I also want to share with you some important updates from recovery from the fires. Phase 2 debris removal has begun months ahead of schedule, and we are pushing forward to rebuild as quickly and, of course, as safely as possible. Today, we are opening the impacted worker and family recovery centers. There will be 4 of them around town. To identify the center near you, go to lacity.gov. And so we would say to people in the Palisades, if individuals who worked for you on your property or in your home are individuals who worked in the commercial area, we want to make sure that you have resources as well. Yesterday, our one-stop center opened where 12 city departments are located in an area so people can begin the permitting process and the planning process to get rebuilding done. So for Angelenos, please stay safe out there and let us know, and we will let you know more information about the storm as it develops. Thank you very much, and let me introduce Dr. Cohen from the National Weather Service.
Thank you very much for having me here, Mayor. My name is Dr. Ariel Cohen, and I'm the meteorologist in charge of the National Weather Service of Los Angeles. Exactly as the mayor mentioned, we need to be at a high state of readiness and vigilance as we head through the afternoon and evening hours across the greater Los Angeles area. Even as late as the mid-morning hours, there's still a large range of possibilities that could play out with the weather this afternoon and evening. This is not a high-confidence scenario. At the very least, we are expecting there to be minor debris flows, mudslides, as well as rock slides and flooding across the greater Los Angeles areas. Debris flows across the burn scars, as far as at least minor ones, and mudslides and rock slides in any areas of steep terrain across the greater Los Angeles area. However, as we head through the 4 to 9 p.m. time frame this afternoon into the evening hours, we are expecting a strong weather system to move through and will bring the potential for areas of very heavy rainfall to impact the region. Now, exactly where the heaviest rain occurs, there's still a lot of question marks about that. However, if those heavy rain areas set up over some of the burn scars, such as the Palisades burn scar, Eaton burn scar, and other burn scars across the greater Los Angeles area, there will be the potential for very severe debris flows to occur in addition to mudslides and rock slides. Again, that's an uncertain situation, far from certain right now. But everyone needs to be at a high state of readiness as we head through the afternoon and evening hours, have multiple ways to receive emergency alert information from the National Weather Service, emergency management, and law enforcement, so that if you do have an evacuation warning or order issued for your area, you take those orders and warnings very seriously. We're not going to necessarily be sure about significant debris flows occurring until potentially right before they occur. So already be thinking about now the what-if scenarios. What would happen if that warning or order comes? Do you know where you'd go? Do you know what you'd do to take those immediate protective actions to save your life and those of your loved ones? Be thinking now about the possibilities. There's a chance that we get through this event without any significant impacts at all. That's a definitive possibility and would be a very fortunate outcome. However, as we know with weather, there are uncertainties, even at this late hour. So everyone should be prepared. If you're in a vulnerable location, not only in the burn scars, but especially the burn scars, but anywhere around steep terrain where mudslides and rock slides could occur, now is the time to be preparing. Also, with flooding being a definitive possibility across a larger portion of the greater Los Angeles area, remember, never drive through flooded roadways. You never know how deep the water may be. It only takes a couple feet of floodwaters to cause vehicles to get stranded and to be life-threatening. Do not drive through flooded roadways. Turn around, don't drown if you see flooded roadways. And then I want to mention also, when this weather system comes through, it's going to be a quick burst of this activity in that 4 to 9 p.m. time frame, and will also be accompanied by the risk for damaging wind gusts, possibly from severe thunderstorm-like impacts. So no expectation that these will occur, but the possibility for sporadic damaging winds does exist. Potentially with some lightning, but even without lightning or thunder, we are looking at the risk for some damaging wind gusts. That activity would be capable of downing trees and power lines and interfering with other ongoing recovery efforts across the area. So everyone should be prepared and do what it takes in order to mitigate losses due to trees coming down, power lines coming down, and never go near a power line that goes down. As we head into the late evening hours, especially after 9 or 10 p.m., the rain will be pushing east and south of the greater Los Angeles area, although we'll still have on and off intermittent, moderate to occasionally heavy rain persisting through the pre-dawn and perhaps morning hours of Friday that could exacerbate any ongoing flooding issues if they were to occur. Again, my main point here is there's still a lot of uncertainty in exactly what's going to play out. There's a large range of scenarios that extend from at least minor flooding and debris flows that are on the minor side, mudslides and rock slides, all the way up to something significant or extreme occurring. A lot of uncertainty in exactly what plays out. So now is the time to be weather ready. Now is the time to be thinking about what you do to protect your life and those of your loved ones. Thank you for having me.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Kristen Crowley, Fire Chief of Los Angeles City Fire Department. Thank you all for being here. And as we know, the current storm has already arrived. Your Los Angeles City Fire Department wants to assure the public that we are fully engaged in our preparedness, our planning, and response to keep our communities safe. Our top priority is to protect lives, property, and critical infrastructure from the potential impacts of these heavy rains, flooding, and mud and debris flows. Rainfall of this intensity can cause mudslides in any hillside areas of the city. I want to make sure we talk about that. This is a widespread event that could impact a lot of different areas within the city, but especially hazards in and around the areas that have recently burned. Much has been done to prepare for these potential catastrophic rains. We urge all residents, especially those in the hillside and low-lying areas, to remain vigilant and prepared. Now, the LEFD has been preparing for this event over the past few days. In partnership with the California Office of Emergency Services, Cal OES, These specialized resources have been strategically pre-positioned since yesterday so that they could immediately respond to the storm-related types of emergencies and calls for service. We have pre-positioned these specialized resources to include swift water teams strategically located near high-risk flood zones, urban search and rescue teams with heavy equipment to respond to debris flows and structural collapses, additional fire engines and crews assigned to high-risk neighborhoods, particularly those impacted by our recent wildfires. Helicopters are on standby for rapid reconnaissance and aerial rescues if needed. We are working in close coordination with our other city and county departments to address potential hazards before they escalate. Now, the LEFD is also staffing our Emergency Operations Center that's at a level 2 and our LEFD Department Operations Center as well. Now, a real important message that we need to spend a little bit of time on is the cooperation from the citizens of Los Angeles and how important that is during this weather event. We must all remain vigilant. You heard that word a couple times already. We cannot let our guard down. Increase wind and rain, and as we know, then can also increase the likelihood of driving hazards as well. Exercise caution if you must go out. Avoid bodies of water, no matter how calm they look. Especially avoid any moving water, and be on the lookout for downed power lines and trees. The My LA 311 system is available to report non-emergency problems, and that's an important point for the community to know, because this system helps your first responders prioritize precious resources for life-saving emergencies. Also, signing up for the alerts at lefd.org/alerts will allow you to receive timely and accurate information. If you live or travel in the hillside areas that may be in danger of landslides, you must be prepared for an evacuation order or alert from the Emergency Management Department. I want to take just a brief moment to thank all of our LAFD firefighters, LAPD officers, our other first responders, and every single city department that continues to work as one city family to maintain services to our residents and visitors of Los Angeles. Thank you to Mayor Bass and the Los Angeles City Council for your leadership and as well as your continued support. And most of all, we'd like to thank the residents for being prepared and ready. Let me be very, very clear. Your LEFD is well prepared, fully prepared, and ready to respond to any emergency caused by this storm. I'm very, very proud of your LEFD as they are highly trained and fully committed to keeping our communities safe. Thank you, everyone. And next, I have the actual honor to introduce LAPD Chief McDonald.
Thank you, Chief Crowley. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here and getting the message out to the public. Our top priority is public safety, and with the incoming storm, we've taken proactive measures to ensure the residents in high-risk areas are evacuated. Last night, LAPD personnel worked through the evening conducting door-to-door notifications for houses under mandatory evacuation orders due to the risk of mudslides and mud flow. Residents in the Palisades, Hearst, and Sunset fire areas who are not under mandatory evacuation remain on evacuation warning. What you've heard throughout this is to be ready. The state of readiness is critical to being able to survive a major event should it go in the wrong direction. A squad of 2 sergeants and 20 units were deployed last night in the Palisades area to notify residents to ensure they received the evacuation order. Hollywood and Foothill divisions conducted similar efforts in the Sunset and Hearst fire zone areas. If residents were not home, officers posted notices and documented their efforts to ensure accountability on that front. Additionally, residents in affected homes receive wireless emergency alerts on their phones. Currently, as of this morning, mandatory evacuation orders remain in effect for 106 homes in the Palisades area, 9 homes in the Sunset area, and 4 homes in the Hearst area. These are mandatory evacuations, not warnings. Residents must leave for their safety. If an officer did not notify you in person or you did not receive an alert and notice posted at your residence, you remain in an evacuation warning area rather than a mandatory evacuation zone. Starting this morning at 7 o'clock, no contractors were allowed into the burn area until that order is lifted. Residents who evacuate will not be allowed to return until it's deemed safe to do so. Traffic control points are in place, and officers have a list of impacted homes. Pacific Coast Highway remains closed and is only open to disaster response personnel. We have coordination with our partner agencies, and I'll give you just a rundown on some of the deployment. For AWatch, we have 1 lieutenant, 6 supervisors, and 42 officers from LAPD, as well as 3 sergeants and 30 officers that are in the area to provide assistance with evacuation should the need arise. We still have our National Guard partners, 93 deployed, 10 today are on footbeat and 26 on traffic control points. And our partners from the California Highway Patrol, we have a lieutenant, 2 sergeants, and 27 officers, and they're doing crime suppression activities. So we're very thankful to be able to have had for so long the partnership of these agencies, National Guard, CHP in particular. The idea is we're ready for what may occur and able to adapt to circumstances that may arise. We want to thank our officers, the CHP, the National Guard for their efforts overnight, ensuring that every resident received a direct notification. We understand that evacuations are difficult, but this is all about keeping our community safe. We ask for everyone's cooperation in following these orders to protect themselves, their families, and first responders. Thank you. We'll open it up now to any questions you might have.